last video, going to be doing a wrap up of the Springboks victory over Georgia, which took place on Friday night. Didn't actually know that it was going to be on Friday. I thought it was actually going to be on a Saturday, so I missed this game completely when it did happen. So, but all credit to Springboks, first game back since they won the World Cup, and they won the game 40 points to 9 against Georgia. Again, another tier 2 country, again an opportunity to play the world champions, and I don't think that Georgia did any discredit. I know the scoreline suggests a bit of a blowout for South Africa, but Georgia actually did pretty well. And in context, to give people context, until I think it was the 35th minute, Georgia were actually leading the game 9-5. They'd slotted over 3 penalties by the number 10. I like the 10. Tedo Abendadze. He was very good for Georgia under 20s when I watched him a couple of years back at the World Cup. He's a quality 10. Georgia have got a conveyor belt of really good quality youngsters coming through. They credit to their under 20s program. They've really turned over some big names in the World Cup and put together some good performances as well against the bigger countries, against the likes of France. I know that they've played Wales on a number of occasions and got some really good performances and some good value out of those. So, in fairness, I mean, there's a little bit of differences between what certain countries are doing. So you've had countries like USA and what looks like the USA are doing similar to what Japan is doing, which is supplementing their first choice team with people who qualify via the domestic league for residency purposes, as well as a sprinkling of their talent from the under 20s, whereas Georgia don't have the luxury of that. They haven't got a sort of an economically viable domestic competition. A lot of their players are playing in Europe, whether it's in France or in Britain as well, or in Italy. But the under 20s program is where they're going to find their value in the next couple of years to provide a good sort of jumping off point then to try and break into that top 10 or top 12 of the world. But I know they didn't disgrace themselves at all. They were pretty good actually, really physical, good set piece. I think as much part of that was South Africa's sort of rustiness, I would say. South Africa did field a couple of different combinations, which they wouldn't ordinarily field. Obviously, they didn't have Cheslin Colby available due to the proximity with him playing in the top 14 in Europe. I mean, there was no Fat de Klerk either, so Cobus Reinach got a run out as well at 9, and Herschel Yankees. South Africa were okay. You can't really sort of say that that's going to be the South African team that the Lions will face first test. A lot of their game does revolve around quick ball, speed of play. A lot of it tempo-wise dictated by Faf de Klerk at 9. I still maintain, I think that Andre Pollard is absolutely crucial to whether they win the Test series or not. More so than Faf de Klerk, I would say, and more so than Dwayne Vermeulen. Pollard is an underrated quality 10, brilliant kicker, a typical good South African 10, brilliant goal kicker, a marshal, puts you in the areas you want to be in, and reaches brilliant backlines. He's confident and strong himself. The only problem is he's had a couple of poor injuries, and hopefully he can stay fit for the Test series, but I would feel a lot more confident if he wasn't there, put it that way. But he played alright, I suppose. He played okay against Georgia on Friday night. They did overall, the box pack were okay. They didn't really assert too much sort of obvious domination of Georgia until the second half. There was a card for one of the try just before half time for Georgia. Really took the guts out of them, really. They were 9-5 up until, like I said, 35 minutes. And then there was a driver ball try. The first try actually was a very good finish by, I think it was a debutant, Afieli Fassi, the winner. Very, very good touchdown in the corner. The second try was scored by the hooker, Mbanambi. I really like him. He was good in the World Cup. Cobus Reinach scored a random try. It was like a bit of a kick forward. He missed everybody, fell into his hands. He went the long way round to score under the post. Um, I mean, the other tries in the second half, they were really just sort of like catapult tries. You had Quagga Smith went over from the base of a scrum. You had Herschel Yankees score basically from opportunistic number 9 try where there wasn't a guard defender on the ruck, so he sort of sniped and went and scored himself. Um, and I think overall 40 points to 9 is not too bad for South Africa either. Georgia, they played pretty well, especially in the first 30 minutes, but I think that particularly playing against such high quality opposition and playing away as well as the legs not being there, they did sort of tire second half and I think the scoreline blew out a little bit more then when they racked up a couple of tries South Africa, but I mean, they won't be too disappointed either. They've got another opportunity next week against Georgia to put a score on and get some players, get some performances under the belt as well before the Lions Test series happens in a couple of weeks. But most importantly, no injuries to report. I can see at the moment. The game was the game was enjoyable to watch. Georgia were what I would say they were physical. They were pretty dominant in the contact area. They turned ball over. They were solid in the scrum. They were solid actually in line-out time, except when the card happened after around 30 minutes, and I think the mental sort of fortitude sort of collapsed before half time, and unfortunately the Georgians succumbed to that, and there was no way back for them to sort of, well, even to make the scoreline respectable. I think that the legs had been totally taken out of them around the 35-minute to about 50-minute mark by South Africa. They scored the majority of their tries in that period as well after that. But Georgia, they can go into the second game now galvanised. They've had a taste of it. If they put in a same performance as they did the first 30 minutes, and again, then I can't see why they can't come closer. I would like to see them play a little bit more expansively in the back line and try to score a try or two against South Africa as well, just to show that, for South Africa as well, also to have some work on ready for the Lions as well. But the game overall was what we expected it to be. Rustiness from both sides, particularly South Africa, missing some big guns as well. Good to give the squad a run out, but would look seriously next week now to field in some of the bigger guns and blowing Georgia out of the water and sending down a message that they are back and they're clicking and they're ready for the Test series. Because I do think that even if they do that against Georgia, it is going to be it's going to be 2 or 3 steps up, I think, to play against the Lions at home then after that. But particularly with no fans in South Africa, it's going to be disastrous for them really, I think. It so much relies on sort of the home crowd, and they've really, fair play to South African fans. They're one of the best fans in the world. They really do get behind their team, and it's probably, I would say, one of the most hostile atmospheres, if not the one, apart from Twickenham, most hostile atmospheres to go play as an opposition player. But hopefully we're going to see another game next week with as much quality, but a little bit more of a click from both sides and some tries hopefully as well, either way. But hopefully you enjoyed the game as well, and if you've got a comment, leave a comment, like the video, and keep a watch out for the other reviews.